Yo boys, we're out here in Dubai. You're gonna see the palm view there as well. But I've been running my agency for a bit in the remodeling niche. Right now just being kind of stagnating at the 20k month mark essentially. So I just made the decision to pay Pranav and Theo, kind of help build out the back end and start scaling up acquisition. So now back end is done. Now we're just gonna double down on acquisition with paid ads, and in this video we're kind of gonna build that out and show you guys how it's done.
All right, boys. So we are back. Basically, gonna be breaking down the entire ad structure for my mentee Jonathan here. It's gonna be pivoting into paid ads now. So yeah, I think we can start off with kind of the offer and your niche and everything, so the audience kind of understand that firstly. Yeah, tell them what niche are you in, and how do you structure your agency as well, like the model you're running as well?
So my niche is home improvement. So remodelers, roofing as well, painting, decking, all of that stuff. So as Theo said, it's kind of pay per appointment. So how we position ourselves is, we sell appointment packages. So let's say 10 appointments, 1500, all of that stuff. Basically, so they pay for all the qualified appointments in a sense. We book them in for them. They just show up to the appointments and close the jobs. Yeah.
So your price points, it's 1500 for 10 appointments, and then do you have multiple offers as well, more high ticket?
Yeah, we do a lot of our packages are 40 appointments for 3k and kind of above that as well.
Okay, good. So I think especially when running ads, you definitely want to have the price points at 3k and above, because that's ultimately once it makes sense to run ads,
Yeah.
Once you charge more than 3k, because then obviously there's more money to be made and everything, and obviously ad spend as well is going to be at least $50 a day. Do you work with all sorts of remodelers?
Pretty much, yeah. It's mostly kind of basic kitchen and bathroom.
Okay, so mostly focus on kitchen.
That's the biggest one, 70% of our clients.
Nice. Okay. And in terms of the actual structure of the funnel and stuff as well, we want to be running ads straight to a landing page. So not lead forms or anything like that. There's kind of 3 stages to the actual funnel itself. We're going to send them to the landing page, right? And then that landing page will basically send them to a book a call page, essentially, after they fill out the survey on the funnel. And then after that, it's basically just like the thank you page, which is pretty simple. What do you reckon your offer would be here?
I would say it's kind of good to position it also per month. So I would say, let's say 10 to 20 highly qualified estimates or something like that. We can kind of position it per month as well, but at the same time, say it's not a monthly fee. That's what kind of we also do.
Yeah. So it would be very similar to this funnel right here for this mentee, with basically a survey, and we basically want to make it as low friction as possible initially, and then we add more friction to the funnel once a lot of leads are coming through, purely because firstly you just want to create flow and then eventually add friction eventually. So the way these funnels right here perform really well with B2B ads is purely because you make it very low barrier to entry. So on the very, very top of the landing page, right here, I think there would be a text saying limited to 5 remodelers per niche or per area, for example. And then the first question here on the actual survey would be check if we already work with a remodeler in your area below, and then they basically put in their area here, and then they go to next. And the next here is essentially just how much they're doing per month. Do they have a high ticket offer? Basically qualifying essentially. And then they basically fill out that form, and then it sends them to this book a call page essentially, and that's where you basically say congrats, we have 2 open spots for or like we don't work with a remodeler in your area.
Yeah.
Obviously it's like generic, it's like evergreen, it's not like actually personalized or anything like that. And then that basically intrigues them to like book a call. And then on the thank you page here, you obviously want to have like a pre-call VSL for this as well. So I guess like your niche is like probably a lot of people that's been like burnt before as well. So that's why you want to position yourself very, very differently with from the ad creatives and the entire like the offer, everything to kind of suit that, because obviously when you do like pay per appointment, you can structure it that's like it's pay per appointment and then charge up front, which is kind of like really, really good. And then it's just about like qualifying them pretty strong in terms of like making sure they actually got money and everything. And yeah, you basically just want to position yourself completely different in that VSL as well. You know, like telling them like, you know, there's a 99% chance that you've worked with someone and been burnt before. And yeah, basically like make their barrier very low, because these leads as well, they're gonna sense pretty quickly if you're there trying to sell them, you know, like really hard on the video, on the thank you page as well. Hence why I just want to make it like super chill and everything, and basically like walk them through like why your system is different and everything. Which could, for example, be that, you know, you call up the leads and qualify every single one of them, and all that stuff.
Like for the video, how long do you think I should kind of explain the system or overall? Because I should maybe show more like social proof during the video and not just rather explain, because they, you know, they've kind of heard it everything.
No, like on the thing is like on the landing page, you want to basically have the headline and then the survey itself, and then just, you know, fuck ton of testimonials, like written videos, everything. That's it, right? Nothing else on the landing page. And then you don't really need any like testimonials or anything on this. It's just like sending them to a calendar, you know, on the booking page. But on the thank you page, the VSL, you want that to be I'd say like max like 5 or 6 minutes long, like nothing crazy. Basically just walking them through like what's gonna happen on this call, you know, like your guarantee essentially, like your more case studies, more testimonials as well in the video. You can also have like some frequently asked questions, and you basically create videos on like frequently asked questions, like, you know, what's the guarantee, for example, and everything. You can have like a separate video for each single thing essentially, or you can just have like the frequently asked section as like text as well on the funnel. And then obviously you have like a ton of like case studies here as well. But one of the things though that's gonna help a lot with like increasing the show up rate and everything on all these leads is just leveraging a button on the actual thank you page that basically looks like right here under the VSL. Like step 1 is obviously the VSL, and step 2 is basically to basically add it to the Google Calendar. But we're going to go a bit more into this a bit later in terms of like some specific things that we need to set up within the calendar stuff, because like this thing right here, it requires like a specific code in order for the button to actually like work, you know. But this basically increases the show rate like fucking crazy, because it automatically adds the event to their calendar, you know, so they already see it on their schedule. So yeah, you'll easily get like an 80 to 90% show up rate on all these booked calls essentially. So that's kind of like the funnel stuff right there. But obviously you yourself run ads for clients, right? That's kind of like the back end. Obviously we've pretty much dialed in your back end now, so it's pretty much time to scale up. Hence why we're kind of doing ads and everything. But for the ads themselves, the way we basically want to structure it is to basically just run leads, right? Continue. And then you can just call this whatever you want. And then we want to be using ad set budget. This one you can enable if you want, but we don't really want to be using like Advantage Plus, because that way Facebook is basically going to be in charge of your money, you know. Like you're not going to be able to control it, and Facebook obviously optimizes just to make the most amount of money they can. So you basically want to be using ad set budget, and then we're going to be running at least 2 ad sets. So one of them is with targeting, and one of them is just no targeting at all. So conversion location here as well. It's obviously going to be websites, maximize number of conversations. We're going to set up a pixel here as well a bit later. And I'd say daily budget, you at least want to be spending like $50 a day to like see pretty fast results. I'd say like 50 per ad set is like pretty much perfect, honestly. So let's run that up, because that way you get like the quickest results. So if you spend like $50 a day, that's like 1.5K a month. So you only need like, what is it, like one close, and then you're already like 2x ROI. So yeah, that's good. In terms of the start date, you always want to be that to be like 1 a.m. So you run the ad entire way through. Locations, obviously we're going to be targeting United States, not Norway. And then in terms of the targeting here as well, detailed targeting, this is where we basically target specifically your ICP, is mostly home improvement, right? We don't need like a whole lot, because Facebook is obviously gonna understand your niche and based on like the ad creatives. But one thing that's like really good to have here is like Facebook page admins and also business page admins, because that way we're basically going to be targeting those who has like a business profile, essentially like a Facebook page for the business. So that's like really good. And placements, we don't really need to play around with that.
Do we just want to leave the age as well to be like broad?
We can adjust the age as well if you want to. I'd say, let me see here.
Because I feel like for the niche, it's kind of would make sense to limit it a bit.
Is it like people above 30 or 40?
I'm saying like 35 or so.
Yeah,
I feel that's good.
But yeah, like the ad creatives themselves, like most of the time you basically just want like a simple image, and then it would be like a crazy offer and crazy guarantee. That gets you like a fuck ton of people to book an appointment and everything, and really like low cost per lead and everything. But at scale, like those people are like super burnt out, like really shit leads, honestly. Shit appointments, people that just want to hop on the call, know the guarantee and the price point, and then just disappear because they have like 10 other calls booked in with other people, So that's why like video ads are the ones that kind of perform the best. Obviously you want to be using like a UGC creator, so preferably a woman, because we're going to be targeting mostly male people here. So if you get like a pretty good looking woman, that tends to convert really well. Preferably one that has like really good tonality as well when they record and when they speak. The conversion rate and everything, the click-through rate is gonna be way better as well. And you're gonna get like very high intent leads as well, because the entire video script of the entire ad would be like structured in a way where you position yourself differently, kind of paper appointment, testimonials, like basically everything, right? I'll give you access to my my custom AI GPT prompts as well. That's trained on like creating fucking really high converting video ad scripts as well. But one thing you can do as well, if you want to create like a AI bot yourself, you can like upload all the sales calls, literally feed it with so much data and everything, so it understands the niche like super in depth. It basically like understands the entire niche based on like the transcripts from those sales calls, and that way it's gonna be even better, right? Because it knows your niche and your offer really well. So obviously it's gonna be like video ad one. I'd say we should run at least like I think we should try like 5 different creatives, same body on all of the video ads, but just 5 different hooks essentially. Like the first like 10 seconds is differently on every single one, and then we can also like one of them being like a testimonial as well as a hook, like in just X days we scale this remodeler to 50K cash in the first 30 days or something, and then it goes into the body. That usually tends to work really well as a retargeting ad as well, which we can look into as well. Yeah, in terms of like the pixel stuff, like one of the things that a lot of people get wrong is that they have the lead set to like when people arrive on the thank you page, but that's most of the time not really going to be working because it's too far out essentially for Facebook to like fully understand and everything. So that's why you want to basically set the landing page to like page view essentially on the pixel, and then this one right here, once I submit the lead form here, then they obviously get redirected to the book a call page, and that's when you want to have the trigger to be like book a call, and then you don't really need a pixel on the thank you page, honestly. Yeah, in terms of like the calendar configuration as well in GHL, the main thing that's going to allow your short break to basically skyrocket is by using like a personal calendar instead of like an event calendar. So you basically go to new calendar, personal booking, and then you select a team member, obviously. I'm just going to call this one test, and then you just hit confirm here. And then once you edit this personal one, there's a few things that you have to set up here to make it properly correct. It's firstly the meeting invite title. So this is like how it will appear on people's Google Calendar and also in the calendar invite on their email essentially. So what you want to be doing here is that you just want to say like action required, because obviously people are gonna, oh fuck, I need to check this. And then you can basically call it just contact name and the name of the business, just like that. In the form, yeah, you basically turn off the consent thing right there. And then this as well is really important. I use sticky contacts, pre-populate fields, because like whenever people is gonna submit the survey on the first like lead form, they're gonna submit their name, email, phone number, perhaps even like the business name. Then once people are redirected to book a call and choose a time, once they click like a time, then it auto fills in like their name, email, and phone number that they just put in, so they don't have to like repeat it again, manually. So that's one thing as well that's gonna like skyrocket the fucking booking rates, purely by just using like the sticky contacts. Really important that you enable the sticky contact on the actual form itself, or like the survey itself as well, on the funnel. And then on the thank you message, we don't really need that. You just redirect them to the thank you page. You don't really need a pixel either. And then in terms of the, this is basically like the thing you want to be changing here. Okay, the meeting invite notes. So people love attention to detail, okay, because that just proves that this guy has his shit together, like he knows fucking everything, right? Cool. So in the meeting invite notes here, we basically want to say like, hey, contact name, contact first name, before our call, please complete these 2 quick steps. And then the first one would essentially just be them accept calendar invites. This is gonna automatically like confirm when you use like the personal calendar, but it's good to just have it in there in case a bug or something happens. And then number 2 is basically to watch the mandatory video before our call here, and then you basically just link them to the thank you page right there, because obviously that video is like you definitely want them to watch that video, because like what that video is going to do is basically like warm them up before the call and everything. So that's like the thing you want to put in the meeting notes right there. And yeah, that's pretty much like how you set up the calendar stuff right there. Eventually here as well, as we scale the ads, we can go from having like a one call closing process like what this is essentially to having like a two call closing process. So as you know, like once you scale acquisition, your time is obviously going to become like very capped, right? You're going to have like a fuck ton of meetings on your calendar and everything. So instead of like immediately hiring a closer, what you can do is that you just get like a pretty good setter on board. Who basically like, you know, you change it from being like a 30-minute call to like a 15-minute call. And then the setter basically like calls them up instantly, qualifies them, and then if they're actually qualified, then the setter booked them in for like a full-on sales call with you essentially on your calendar, and that would essentially be like where, you know, you close them, and that way you only have like people that's actually like qualified and will show up on the calendar. So that definitely helps as well. Now, obviously, when you run ads, you do want to know your numbers, right? You want to know like everything in depth. So that's why like you are going to be using like this ad tracking sheet right here, which literally tracks like everything you need, you know, like from how much you've spent in ad spend, the commissions to the setter, you know, if you eventually bring that one on, how many leads you generated, calls booked, showed, good fits, closed, you know, and then you overall get like the total here as well. So the booking rates, the show up rate, the bad fit rate, the good fit rate, and the conversion rate on the sales as well. And yeah, here as well, you'll see like the average cost per like call closed as well, and call booked. For like the call booked, you want to aim between like 60 to $100 per call booked. That's pretty good for like B2B, and call closed anywhere from like 200 to like $400, I'd say. That's like the ideal zone. And yeah, then you obviously get like the total profit and cost here as well, you know, like the ROI and profit margins and everything. And then you track like the cash collected and the revenue and everything here as well. And then eventually, like as you run these ads for like, you know, a certain period of time, like a few weeks and maybe even months, then you're going to be able to kind of start seeing like a pattern in terms of like average appointment to sale, you know. So you know, like every seven like fifth appointment, for example, then you have like a, you know, 5K pay, for example. So that's really good. And yeah, that's pretty much like the entire like ad tracking sheet right there. Really important to know your metrics, of course.
For the calendar setup, as well. Do you have anything for like the availability on how kind of far away you want to keep it, you know, open? So like how do people usually book out until, you know?
Great question. So I usually have it set to max like 3 or 4 days, because that makes it like kind of like exclusive essentially. And obviously like speed to lead is like fucking important there as well. But most of the time when you run ads, like this is the positive thing about ads, people want to speak with you as soon as fucking possible. Like as soon as they see the ad, they just want to hop on a call with you instantly, you know, and know everything essentially. So most of the time you're going to realize that people book on the same day, or the day after essentially, which is really good. So yeah, date range max, like I'd say 3 days. It depends kind of like on the volume you're getting as well initially here. But yeah, that's like really important. You can do the slots to be like 15 minutes as well. And then I'd say like just keep it open on Saturdays and Sundays as well, because why not? Like our ads are printing on weekends for some reason. So yeah.
Also like for no shows, if you know you would get a no show, do you try to get them rescheduled, or do you just kind of let it go? Yeah.
So whenever I hop on a meeting and, you know, it's been like 5 or 6 minutes and the person hasn't showed up yet, I just call them up. And this is like a fucking genius hack, right? It works like literally every time. I call them up and I'm like, hey John, I'm running a bit late for a meeting, about like 2, 3, 4 minutes. Is that fine with you? And then they're like, yeah, that's fine. I'm jumping on now as well. And then they fucking jump on. So yeah, I mean, you can also create like a, like if they didn't pick up the phone, for example, you can just send them like a text saying like, here's the link to reschedule. And then ultimately just try to get on the phone with them, I'd say, to basically convince them. But show up rate is gonna be like really fucking high when you run ads, purely because like people are inbound, right? So they're like way more warm and interested in everything. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. The next hour, we're just gonna fucking crank out everything here, find a hot UGC model to record these ads, and then yeah, we're gonna launch them up. So yeah, that was pretty much it for this video.
Sure.
See you.